Bethune High School. Typical place for a lot of students. And for the others, it's more of a way out, so to speak. But nothing matters at home, especially when you go to Bethune High, right? Everything is beautiful. When you go to Bethune High, yeah, right. This is one of those schools. Okay, you know how there's a school where there's a pool, of course. Well, most schools have pools, but there's a pool, and it's a tennis room in the school. It's all type of things here. But then the students are the ones who destroy it, or just bring down I don't want to say morale, but bring down the feeling of the school. It's like, yeah, it's a great school, but look who go there. I mean, half those kids are bougie, and the other half are like wannabe thugs. But it's a great school. So how the hell did their kids get to attend this school? Dear Love, episode 16. I'm starting to think it doesn't take much to get into this school. I mean, yeah, you got the little preppy kids who are ready for college, whose parents make $300,000 a year. They drive Ferraris and got the yard the size of my yard and my next door neighbor's yard and their next door neighbor's yard. How do I know so much about Bethune High, you say? Maybe I'll tell you later. Maybe I won't. Jessica Maddox. About 5'3", brown skin, medium hair length. She knows her stuff. Into things like ballet, swimming, lacrosse, football, basketball. You know, the typical things that I guess a 12th grader would be into. Especially when they love, or should I say, they're in love with the jock of the football team. It always seems to be the straight A students that always find time to dwell on the dark side. Every parent wants their straight A student to follow behind their footsteps. Yeah, they made mistakes in the past, but we made those mistakes so you didn't have to. So therefore, straight A students should be with straight A people. Even friends, your parents feel like they can pick your friends for you. That's what makes you want to go to the dark side, right? Wake up, parents. Even though I'm in the 12th grade and still live under your roof and need a job, I run my own life and definitely don't need nobody telling me who I can love. Brian Foster. Short hair, 6'3", no different than any other jock you'll see in any movie or TV show. Always have on the Letterman jacket, always the cool guy, has all the friends, goes to all of the parties, and of course, gets bad grades. Brian Foster gets tutored by Jessica Maddox. How convenient. No wonder she loves this guy so much. She feels like she has one up on him. Hey, maybe he'll like me if I can help him keep his grades up. Don't think that'll really matter, though, since Brian Foster is also the local drug dealer, I should say. And what do you know? Selling drugs to the teachers. Now, isn't that something? I'll give you a good grade if you can get me a good grade. Isn't it always like that? The cool guy just always has a way of making things happen. Here it is, can't pass a lick of a test in any class, but yet he sells drugs to the teachers. So they have no choice but to pass him, right? Plus, he's the jock of the football team. He's the guy that we depend on week in and week out to win football games and Scholarships are coming. Typical story. But selling weed to the teachers definitely couldn't have seen that coming. And you won't see it coming because nobody knows about it. Kind of makes you think. Now, they said this was a good school with bad people in it. Or is it a bad school with bad people in it? And then there's Linda, seasoned vet when it comes to teaching. Math and science is her expertise. She's also a professor at Preston College, where for the most part everyone has good grades. Long hair, brown skin, 5'7", with glasses. It's funny though, she wears glasses at Bethune High, but at Preston College she has no glasses on. She switches to the contacts. Isn't that odd? I wonder why. Let's not forget she's a teacher at Bethune High. She also happened to be one of Brian's teachers. Oh, and did I mention her name is Linda Maddox? The mother of Jessica Maddox? Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. And did I also mention Brian gets his weed from Linda? What a small world, right? And Jessica always wondered why her mother's always late coming home. Maybe mommy has 3 jobs instead of 2. And maybe that's why Linda doesn't seem so fond about Jessica tutoring Brian. Especially if it comes down to, hey mom, can he come to the house? I'm sure Linda doesn't want Brian to know where she lives. Or maybe Jessica's the fool out of all of this. Maybe Brian and Linda knows what's going on because they deal with each other on a regular basis. And Jessica's the fool that looks from the outside. How ironic, you're outside of what's going on inside of your home. Linda doesn't wear glasses at Preston College because I think she feels like a different person when she's out of the glasses. Not only that, working at Bethune High and working at Preston College are like 2 different worlds. She teaches psychology at Preston High, and I think it just makes her feel like a totally different person. Maybe she likes to leave the Bethune side of her at Bethune. But what part of her comes home then? I'm sure it's the Preston College side. She doesn't want her daughter knowing what she's doing to her friends in a sense, because ultimately she's responsible. If Brian is getting the weed from her and he's selling to all the teachers and the different students, if something happens to one of her friends, isn't her mother ultimately responsible? Guess it kinda gives a new meaning to Bethune High, huh? I left major details out on purpose. Bethune High is a mini series that I'm working on that I want to keep you guys in tune with. Just about the struggles of 3 different stories. You know, you got the guy who wants to do so much for his school and quarterback of the team, star of the team. You know, he just falls kind of short on the academic side. But then you have, Jessica, who's pretty skilled in that department. You know, she's great at class and she likes doing normal things. And she's just a regular girl who's in love with a bad guy in a sense, but she doesn't know if he's bad. Yeah, she sees the different things that he does in school and she knows he's into a couple things, but she don't really know what it is. And to top it all off, you have her mom who is actually supplying Brian. So Linda's really the bad guy in all of this. But how do you tie all that together when you have the daughter who's kind of falling for Brian? through the tutoring, they get to learn each other a little bit better. Two different worlds. She's from the geeky side. He's from the cool, in a sense, side. And then you have the mom who's overseeing everything, but just one of the teachers at the school. And then goes and does her professing job. So does she come out and tell her daughter, hey, listen, that's a bad guy. You don't want to talk to him. You don't want to deal with him. But then she blows her situation, right? And if she's giving it to him, who is she getting it from? Guess we'll have to tune into Bethune High, right? But I'm doing this because I want to try different things. Don't ever be afraid to do something different. We always get so stagnant. Whether it's a job or a person, if you feel like you're not happy wherever you are, you got to move on. And yeah, you're going to take a loss for a while. Hell, it might be longer than a while. But the outcome is always going to be better because you're going to end up doing something that you love. Don't live to work. We work millions of hours a day, get 4 hours of sleep, and spend 2 hours of it with our kids, and then we're back giving all of our time to that job. Work together. Find a partner. If you can't do it by yourself, y'all tag team something and get this money out here. Brian and Linda are doing it. But yeah, Bethune High is definitely going to be a great story. I eventually want to turn it into a show. It's going to have so many twists, so many turns. We just got to stay tuned and let me be the motivation to you to not be afraid to do what you want to do. There's so many people out there who only do something because they see somebody else doing it. No, do what you like to do. What makes you stand out from the crowd? You know how they always say, well, I was born the best. That's not always true. Sometimes you got to work at something. You might not have got off to that best start. So start now. Bethune High is my start. Dear love, T. Shaw, I'm out of here.